but I still pushing on. Just cause I know you're still looking down on me. Yeah. So take out all your phone and put a light up. Point it to the angels right up. Maybe one day we go sight up, but I know you're in a better place. So take out all your phone and put a light up. Point it to the angels right up. Maybe one day we go sight up, but I know you're in a better place. Everybody raise your hands and wait for the angels in the sky. Put up your hands and wait for the angels in the sky. Put up your hands and wait for the angels in the sky. Oh, everybody just wait for the angels in the sky. Shoot them! Give me know. They say time will make it better. The pain will fade away. But I won't even lie, I miss you more as the days go by. As the days go by. Man never know the hour, man never know the day. It hurts me even more that I didn't get to say goodbye. Didn't get to say goodbye. So take out all your phone and put a light up. Point it to the angels right up. Maybe one day we go sight up, but I know you're in a better place. So take out all your phone and put a light up. Point it to the angels right up. Maybe one day we go sight up, but I know you're in a better place. Everybody raise your hands and wait for the angels in the sky. Put up your hands and wait for the angels in the sky. Put up your hands and wait for the angels in the sky. Oh, everybody just wait for the angels in the sky. So take out all your phone and put a light up. Point it to the angels right up. Maybe one day we go sight up, but I know you're in a better place. So take out all your phone and put a light up. Point it to the angels right up. Maybe one day we go sight up, but I know you're in a better place. Everybody raise your hands and wait for the angels in the sky. Put up your hands and wait for the angels in the sky. Put up your hands and wait for the angels in the sky. Oh, everybody just wait for the angels in the sky. Wait for the angels in the sky. Wait for the angels in the sky.
Shelly and Signal Band, Angels in the Sky. We did a little feature of that song a couple Sundays ago, and I promised this Sunday we would have, um, probably play the song, which we didn't play the last time. And I also felt it would be nice to have the song to begin the proceedings today, of course, in discussion with my production team, because we're going to have our first segment on the hour today, featuring the work of Shelley and Trilogy with the Put Pen to Paper initiative. That is the highlight of my program today. Although we're going to talk about the passport issue that Dominica has found itself in, or we have found ourselves in, or our leadership have placed us in. We're going to deal with that as well. But to me, the most important story is the young people working with younger people. And I was privileged to have been the first, I think, presenter of that event. And I spoke about the history of Calypso and the evolution of the music to a very appreciative young audience of teenage people. And boy, I had fun. Yes, we had fun. In fact, the students wanted to hear my Osama say that was released before they were born. I think Trilla might have been around as a baby, a little toddler, because that song was released in 2002 when I won the road match. I didn't speak about me per se, but questions were raised, and Trilla G says we have to play that song for the youths. So we played that for them. Really fabulous conversation, Trilogy and Shelly. I must say, I really enjoyed it. Thanks for blessing me with the opportunity to work with you behind the scenes and also to present at this event to young Dominicans. Boy, I mean, this to me is the highlight of my year so far, to be able to engage with such energy. And Trilogy, even before I start showing footage of what you and Shelly have achieved, just one day or one event, if I have to show all the hundreds of pictures and footage that we have, we need a full program. And I can do the entire program, but I just do not want to, because we have other pressing matters to discuss. But before I show this footage and the couple short videos and pictures, I must say Trilogy, as the Kaiso monarch of Dominica, King, you are doing justice to the monarchy. The Kaiso monarchy of Dominica is a vocation. It's an office. It's a title of honor, like the title of the Prime Minister of Dominica. Maybe not elected, but you were selected. You won by a judging criteria. You are not responsible for the running of the nation, but you are the King of Calypso. That's an office, and you know and understand well how the office should be operated. And their king, again, in terms of looking at what other kings would have done in the office, my friend, you're second to none in terms of this initiative and the extent at which you have gone out to do the work that you have done. So long live the king, continue your work. It doesn't matter what happened at next Calypso season. Your legacy is already solidified with what you have done with the office. And you'll win this crown again, I'm not saying that you're going to win automatically, but if you do well and you work well, you will continue to win. And maybe you may not win next time, but you might win the other time. You never know how it's going to happen. Right now, as defending monarch, you can chart a course for your defense. So keep on working, keep on doing your stuff. I think you're up to good things. With that said, guys, let us have a look at some of the pictures. We're going to run some pictures and maybe a little short video in between the pictures, just to show you some sights and songs of this put pen to paper initiative that Trilogy and Shelly are doing. This is some young children doing some artwork with Mr. Burton, who was invited to come to kind of give the children a hands-on crash course as you go painting kind of a experience. And look at what the children did in one session. This is art. Music, art, song, dance, drama, and the promoters of this put pen to paper, putting ink on paper. So these children are telling stories through art. And this was done by Shelly and Trilogy. Here's Mr. Burton, the instructor of the program with the children. And we'll show you a few of these, because I think that's what we need to do. When young people are doing good things, you promote it. The sky is the limit. Look at that. Look at the lines, the curves, the corners, the colors, the richness of the art that the children are presenting in one session. One session. Kaiso Monarch of Dominica with his partner. There we go. See the man? And he bigging up his sponsors too at the same time. You see? So it is a package that has been put together very nicely, where the children they came in, they got the materials to do the work. I think they got the paints from Harris Paints. You see the KFC, it's undeniably there. And the other partners, I'm showing the partners because I think the partners should take a bow for supporting such an initiative. Look at that. I mean, that's children jumping, guys. It's not anything other than liquor-free champagne. Sip and paint. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Our children being engaged during summer. And I can tell you, Trilogy already has plans for next summer to continue the initiative. Look at the number of children who are there enjoying themselves. And guess what? I'm going to show you a couple of videos too. Because when children are doing stuff, when young people are doing stuff, you have to promote it. I haven't seen it quite on the media, traditional media, the way probably I expect it to be. There should be full coverage of this event. So we were able to capture a couple of short videos. Let's play one or two of those videos. I think a couple of them featuring Shelly, who had been away for the first week. He's going to be in live and in living color on the second week because it's a 2-week event. It's taking place at UE mainly, and the children are going to places, different places around the Dominica with the art. I saw Peter later came into the space and was teaching calypso beats in real time. Children singing. I mean, I can show you that, guys. Children singing and producing songs, writing songs, very, very busy, creating songs on the trot. That is what Trilogy and Shelly are doing for us this summer for the children of Dominica. So I had to highlight you today as the #1 event on our program to let you know, gentlemen, that you are doing well. You are doing well, extremely well, and I'm very proud of you. And even more proud that you have asked me to be part of this thing with you guys behind the scenes and also as a presenter. You have made me much younger. And for this, I want to say thank you, Shelly. Thank you, Trilogy. Continue working because that is the future there. The melee you hearing about and the record thing and even everything else that you're hearing, including the nasty business, it's okay. But the children have other plans. And they are going to evolve. I mean, I heard a little bit of Raz presentation, Derek Rapita, when he explained bouillon to the children. I mean, if Trilogy and Shelly forgot a component, I didn't see it. Everything is covered, guys. Everything is covered. And I dare say at the end of the second week, the children, the students, the teenagers are going to graduate with a diploma signed by UE. Guys, come on, man. When the young people are doing, give them. And some of us adults are just there giving on the young people, giving on the young people. They are thinking that we are the ones we. How can it be we and they're coming? It is them we have to open up for. Some of us are pretending as if we are supposed to be the ones. No, the children will save our country, not us. Some of us who are too selfishly inclined to realize that there's a generation waiting, asking, begging. And they're talking about your party and what your party and party foolishness. And the children are there saying, look, man, what are you guys doing, man? We're ready. So let's show, boy, I didn't send the children video I didn't send the video of the children singing to the producer, so I don't think I have that. But let's play a video. I think we have Shelly captured in one of the videos talking about bouillon today. Let's see if we get that one going. And then probably we'll wrap up on our little feature of the Put Pen to Paper initiative. Okay. Do we have that?
Speak on than bouillon today. You know, I don't want to just speak on bouillon in general. Like, I think I want to talk about bouillon today. And Trilogy spoke of my calypso journey. Started as a junior calypso monarch. Well, I didn't start as a monarch. My story is actually that I started singing in SMP calypso competition. Then I came first runner up in that, and they asked me to go to the school.
But of course, play the other one. Let's play the other one.
It's good to finally see you all. I know I've been missed. I will be there next week, the entire week, and you know, I'm a co-presenter of this camp alongside Trilogy, and I couldn't be in Dominica this week, but I'll be there next week for sure. But I wanted to make sure that I have a sort of presence this week, and I think there's no
co-presenter, co-director, co-producer. Don't forget that, Shirley. You are presenter, yes, but you're also directors of the camp, you know. And you're going to register that Put Pen to Paper initiative in your name and Trilogy name, and you guys are going to do that for the next 15, 20 years. I mean, in 1 year already, you're going to create so many writers. Can you imagine what's going to happen in 10 years from now? Man, guys, I'm so proud of you guys, man. I'm really, really so very happy to be part of this with you, to be able to say that, look, at least I had a little say in what the future is going to be. And that is where my life is focused on. Pas sou se moun la actuellement qui a l'âge yo ka parler sort anything every day. I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on the children, man. The 10, 15, 16 year olds, maybe 18, 9 year olds. So in 10 years' time, they're the ones. In 10 years' time, they are the ones. Well, they're already the ones. While some of party no kind of gaspillage, they are already the ones. They are the ones who are creating waves. And I'm telling you, I have a plan. I'm not saying it as yet. I don't have not even told Shelly and Trilogy as yet. And when I tell it to them, I can hear, boy, yeah. I have a plan. A suggestion for the guys. And if they take that suggestion, I think it might be nice. Do not underestimate the power of our youths. Sometimes we do lip service to the youths. When was the last time you did something like that for the children? And Shirley and Trilogy didn't do it to get any props, you know. They did it because they said when they were that age, they didn't get the help. When I was that age, if I had gotten somebody to do an event like that for me when I was 9, 10, 15, I would have been, I'm still who I am, I'm great. But the opportunities that I did not have, I'm seeing children having it now, and I'm happy, thanks to Chilaji and Shelley, who did not have the privilege as well. So they broke the spell, because these guys are younger. They belong to a next generation. But in my generation, Martini. So I could not pass it. I could not pass on what I did not have. It's only now I acquired the skills I can pass it on now. Shelley and them get the skill before me, but I didn't have that skill before. Wasn't exposed. I wasn't given an opportunity. The writers and singers at the time, they would not look at me twice. So I'm happy that they are doing it. And those writers now will do it for the people to come tomorrow. So I think we are okay. Some people in the system that have ripened and some of them matite that trying to maintain that are not okay. But I think Dominica and our people will be fine in the hands of our young people. So Shelley and Trilogy, big respect. Think about you guys are amazing. I'm so happy and honored to know you and to be part of the work. And I wish you well. It's going to be another week next week. And on my program next week, Sunday, I will feature you again as the highlight to bring the curtains down. And I think I will show more B-roll, more, Carlos must be smiling. I say B-roll. What does B-roll mean now? Mr. Producer, give me a definition of B-roll, please, because I say B-roll, I think that's an old word. Is there a new word now for that? Footage? So I will show more footage and more pictures next time, next week Sunday, because that'll be the final program. And maybe I will try to see if I can get Shirley and Chilogy to join me. I don't know. I didn't ask them to come on this Sunday, but maybe next Sunday just to wrap up the event. We'll try to see whether we can have them on. So that's it. That's segment number 1 of my program for today. The Put Pen to Paper initiative presented by Trilogy and Shelley, a massive undertaking. I think that is breaking news. All right. We're switching gears. We're going to do some little politics. Talk of politics and power. And we're going to speak about an issue that we are confronted with in Dominica recently, or I should say an issue that we have been confronted with, where Dominica as a country fell under the scrutiny of England, Great Britain, and the nation slapped a visa requirement on Dominicans. Dominicans are people holding Dominican passports. So Dominican passport holders, no matter where they are, no matter what is their reputation, no matter if they didn't even know where Dominica is, and some of them never planned to be in Dominica, but they are Dominicans. So because I believe of a whole host of nefarious actors getting the Dominican passport and the way in which the passport has been used to enter because of the facility that England made for Dominicans and how it has been abused, England say no more, visa time. And that creates a problem. The authorities who are tone deaf, some of them, may not realize how serious this is. In fact, I heard there was an address to the nation. I didn't really look at the details of the address, so I cannot speak about it, and I do not do that anymore. I have transcended, not transcending meaning to leave those things, but to me, it's for other people to do. People like Viva Mamo and the others. They are the ones I think I look up to now to do those analysis. So I'm not going to analyze the Prime Minister's speech. Maybe when I join Carlos at 3 o'clock on the TUD program, I might have one thing or two to say. But as an individual, as a professional, I don't have anything to say. Let the Prime Minister talk, let other people who can analyze. And I think that Dr. Trifi did a wonderful job. I think she had a program a couple of days ago and one yesterday where she looked at this issue. I think she did an immaculate job with the program. So let people like that, I will listen to them. I will do the things that is closer to my field. And I'm going to ask a few questions. What is Dominica's role in maintaining the integrity of CARICOM? What is CARICOM? Some of you may know CARICOM or heard of CARICOM. What really is CARICOM? Dominica is a member of CARICOM. What is our responsibility as a member of CARICOM? Is Dominica's passport wars only a Dominican problem? I'm asking that question, so I'm going to answer it too. These are not rhetorical questions. I'm asking them, so you answer, and then when I answer, we put our answers together to see what we come up with. Is government effectively managing Dominica's #1 sovereign asset? Our passport. What is a sovereign asset? We're going to break it down, guys. And what is our role in all of this as Dominicans? What do we do? So these are some questions I decided to ask today, and I'm going to spend some time to deal with those questions. First of all, let's begin with CARICOM. CARICOM is an arrangement that was signed by 4 major countries in the Caribbean. I think Trinidad was one of those, Guyana, Jamaica, and Barbados. These are the 4 countries which signed the Treaty of Chaguaramas, July 4, 1973, in Trinidad and Tobago. They created this union of countries in the Caribbean, and Dominica and other countries later joined. CARICOM. So, Antigua, Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, our country Dominica, Grenada, Haiti, Jamaica, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad, all countries of CARICOM. And that treaty that was signed in Trinidad, in Chaguaramas, actually creates a partnership of those countries whereby we come together on this instrument called the Caribbean Union to look at foreign policies and to coordinate functions of cooperation among those countries. We talk about economic integration and political integration, so to speak. And later on, with a revised treaty, the CSME was created. The Caribbean Community, or the Caribbean Single Market and Economy. And that specifically, as revised, deals with issues of monies, of commerce. So the passport is a major instrument of CARICOM. And if you see Dominica's passport, oh, where's my passport? Oh, I thought I was supposed to grab it. I didn't grab it. But there's a picture of the passport on the program, and I know my producer is going to do something and get a picture of the passport to show us. So, Mr. Producer, I know I didn't tell you that, but we will show the people a picture of Dominica's passport so we get a true picture of what I'm speaking about. Dominica's passport brands our sovereignty, but under the banner of CARICOM. So, nous pas ça faire ça, nous lève passport là because it's ours. We can just sell it and just use it for people to go into England without visa. Rogues and whoever they are, questionable characters. No, we are also responsible to maintain the integrity of CARICOM by how we use our passports. So the first question that I ask, What is Dominica's role in maintaining the integrity of CARICOM? Our role is to live up to the creed, live up to the agreement signed in Chaguaramas in 1973. We were not the first to sign up, no? And we there causing trouble for CARICOM. So we have to live up to the expectation and honor citizens of Dominica who are bona fide Dominicans for whatever means, with the instruments to travel to other countries and all the privileges that comes with it. But those fly-by-night citizens, those citizens who become citizens instantly, and I know there's going to be a conversation about that later on the TUD program, guys. Tune in for that. Just happen to get the passport instrument and use it, abuse it. Now, today, we have a visa on our backs. And our anyway, I do not get into the political business on my program. I deal with my issues as a person in my field. When I have another platform, if I'm invited, I will talk about the issues that I am asked about. But for now, I am just presenting this thing from the perspective of Dominica being a member of CARICOM and what is Dominica's expectations with CARICOM. So I've already answered the first question. I'm not too sure whether we got, my producers have gotten a picture of the passport, but we'll put it up there to show you because the CARICOM sign is the first sign on the passport, Caribbean Community. And then Dominica is there, you know, before a coat of arms. But it's a CARICOM instrument, branded to us, branded with our sovereignty. I don't have to get into sovereignty. That's going to be talking too much to explain for now. But we all understand sovereignty. So Dominica is its own country, but Dominica is not the only country in the world. And Dominica has to abide with the global order. Some might say, oh, the America, this, and no, you cannot go against the global order as a single country. You're going to be a rogue country. And do we want our country to be a rogue country? No. Am I saying that Dominica has to bow down to any other nation? No. But do we understand geopolitics and what our role is? Yes. And we have to find our place in the global community. We can't be a runaway train. And I'm going to speak about the implications of this visa requirement by England, because England is a member of the G8. And for those of you who do not know, the G8 is the top 8 global powers that have come together to decide almost everything that takes place, including what takes place in Dominica. So nous ça c'est là dit nous indépendants et nous ça fait ça nous lieu ça. And we can talk about traveling among ourselves in the CARICOM. Really? Really? To travel within CARICOM, that's your answer to a visa imposition on Dominica by England? No, man, I do think some people are concentrating and thinking before they speak those days. CARICOM. How many Dominicans can travel to CARICOM? Can't even afford to travel to CARICOM with the cost of tickets right now. It's cheaper to go to Miami. In fact, the hub to the CARICOM is in Miami. If you want to go to Grenada, you have to come to Miami to go Grenada. CARICOM. Most people who travel up north. They don't travel among the Caribbean. Travel is almost defunct with the downing of Liat and everything else. I don't want to stray too much, but some people must think before they talk about travel to CARICOM. That's your answer. That's your cure. That's the. Anyway, so we answered the first question. That's our role to live up to the agreement that was signed in Chaguaramas. Is Dominica passport was only Dominica's problem? No. It is a CARICOM problem. It's a global problem. It's a security problem. When nefarious actors can come bearing a Dominican passport and get access to any country that Dominica is privileged to get in, Dominicans are privileged to get into, that's a problem. It's a security risk, not just for Dominica, but more so for the other countries. So no, our passport problems, our passport woes is not a Dominican problem. It's a global issue. And global countries are going to react. I spoke about the G8. the G8 countries, the top 8 in terms of global economies: France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, America, Canada, Russia. So when they see England slap a visa requirement on Dominica, you think the G8 is going to be blind? They're going to ask England, well, England, why did you do that? And England is going to say, well, I saw some videos where people are promoting the Dominican passport, and the way they were promoting it is like it's a free for all. And I think there are some people who entered our shores, and we just were not comfortable anymore. The program seems to be attracting some rogue elements. So when England tell that to France, we already need visa to go to France. France might say, well, Dominica is between Guadeloupe and Martinique. These are my dependencies. I need to do certain things about that. And don't blame France if France does something. Italy is going to react. Japan is going to react. I think America has already reacted in some ways, because I'm hearing people going to Barbados and coming back crying in terms of traveler visas. I cannot confirm that. And Russia, that is, well, Russia is another story. But we're not going to go to Russia anyway. How many Dominicans want to go to Russia? When people want to travel out of Dominica, where they want to go to is Europe, England, and the US, Canada. That's where people want to go. And Canada is going to ask questions too. Didn't we require a visa for Canada some time ago and it was taken out and whatever? You never know how the G8 is going to react. And it's not just the G8. You're talking about also the members of the Security Council, the permanent members. China, France again, UK, US. These are members of the permanent Security Council. They talk about the security of the world. So we can stay in Dominica and say we love who and what we say we go, We can play man if we want in Dominica, But at the end of the day, Dominica is part of the globe, and the globe is determined by an order. So you can say a new order, BRICS, is coming up to replace the US. So you can say that as much as you wish. But the entire global order has to be rearranged for that to happen. And it will take time. It can happen. But those things are wishful, fanciful, radical thinking that the global order will collapse eventually and then your order comes in. No, that's not how it's going to work. That's not how it's going to end. So all the other members of the Security Council, CARICOM, and the 193 nations of the United Nations, they all have a role to play in what we are doing. It cannot be right that we can just operate as we want in our vacuum and think it's going to be over. What do we have to fall back on? When the hammer falls on that passport program, that is the only saving grace of our economy, what has been put in place by our government to procure our economy? Nothing. So I do not wish anything happen to the passport business, which I think something will happen. But it is worrying. It is problematic. It is speaking to the issues that we have realized and we have spoken about. So let me ask a couple of questions. We already answered the first question. What is Dominica's role in maintaining the integrity of CARICOM? We know. Is Dominica's passport was only a Dominican problem? No, it is a global issue. It's a security issue, especially in a post-COVID world, in a post-9/11 world. Guys, we are flirting with danger in the nature island. We are affecting paradise. We are hurting the land of nature. And when I say we, I mean we, not everybody in Dominica, but the administration and those who uphold the administration. We can do better. The next question is Dominica, is government effectively managing Dominica's #1 sovereign asset? I want to hear all you answer me. The answer is no. And I say the passport is our #1 sovereign asset because it is. It is what gives us our gateway to other countries. No, we have the flag, we have the national anthem, we have the pledge and everything else, coat of arms, but we don't use this to travel. In fact, this is stamped on our passport. So the passport is the asset that is most tangible. It is our #1 sovereign asset. And we're just selling that. We're just giving people nationality, nationalization, citizenship, just like that. He look at passport after he give me 100,000 whatever dollars. We have no proviso, and those people can vote with. Based on the recommendation that I see, the good Justice Byron is now recommending to us that we accept for national ID, which all Dominicans can have to be able to vote, what do you call it again, electronically. That's a problem. So the question is, what is the people's role in all of that? Asking the questions and I'm answering them, guys. What is the people's role? Some people say protest. I'm reading, I have the privilege of being in certain chats. I myself, I give up on a number of things. I do give up on Dominica, but I give up on a number of things and a great number of people. Not people per se as in giving up on them, but in terms of their aptitude for politics, their attitude, their style. I give up on worrying about what they do or say. And I no longer call for them to come together for us to do things again because it doesn't make sense. Because it appears as if everybody is bright enough to go and do their own thing and they're just there speaking at each other, not with each other. So me, I stay in my corner and I speak on a Sunday based on what I think and I'm off. And when Carlos invite me on TUD, I come there and I speak again and I'm off. Let people like Viva, my dear friend, and all the other experts and professionals, let them break the things down and I will learn from them. But me to call people to come together again for them to say, I beg in, Pala. I'll go, I'm invited. In fact, I'm invited to be on a program on Friday. I'm letting the host have the honor of announcing it. And I will go there and I will speak. I think the young lady who's hosting me wants to speak about my story. Oh, she'd better get ready, man, because I'm going to tell her my story. And I suspect the politics is going to come in. I will tell her as well. I may tell her things that I have never said, but I'm going to tell her. So I'm letting the individuals do the promo, and I will be ready on Friday, I think it is, to talk about things that probably I never spoke about. There are friends who I've had for 20 and more years who cease from being friends because we share different political ideals or ideas or views. Those same friends who would tell me all kind of things about Dominicans and whatever. Anyway, let's not get down that road. So the question is, what is the people's role in all of this? And some say is to reject and build momentum, protest, revolt, and have the prime minister and his regime resign. Some say boots on the ground. It's like battle style. Most of them, that's what they say. And the leaders of most of them, that's what I hear they say. So that is okay if people want to do that. It's all well and good. If people are going to do that, I'm with the people. I cannot, however, lead the people to do that as the only means. It might be a very useful means, but I can see problems. And there is a sort of attitude in Dominica I call the so it is attitude, where we don't think through before we do things. We do them, and then when we realize the repercussions, we say, so it is. I am human. I can make mistakes. Well, yes, I can make mistakes. I've made many mistakes, but I think before and at least I try to minimize the effect of my mistakes. In politics, you have to employ strategy. You have to think through before you ask people to do things. When you ask people to reject, what are you telling them to do? Because the regime that's in place in Dominica is not going to relent. They want what they want. They have the power. You give them 19 seats. So they have a super majority. They will do what the heck they want because they have the incentive, they have the reason, they have the power. So when you tell people don't take them on, you are setting people up to get angry, and there's going to be war and protests. And I warn us, if we think that this government is going to be taken out by revolt and by force, prepare. Because the government has an army that's willing to kill for the government, to maintain the government. So if you want to go against that, you better have a stronger army. As for this, whatever bombs that America gave Ukraine, the scatter bombs, whatever they are, because you will need to go up against the national army. If you think you can take that government out by protest, it has to be ballot, because they didn't come in by protest, they come in by ballot. And I'm telling you, I don't want to say what can happen, but I'm not, totally not in favor of promoting anything that is going to lead our people down a bloody path. The government of Dominica is not insurmountable. They could have lost the last election if some had decided to get their pride and come down off their high horse and speak and agree on how we can dislodge them. It could have happened, or they could have been reduced dramatically in terms of their majority. Not taking part, and now today talking about dismiss. Dismiss what? Dismiss the report of Dennis? Really? Wait. Dismiss. Sit down and dismiss and wait. We have to fight for our country. And when I say fight, I mean we have to stand up. We have to demand an audience with people in authority. His Excellency should have heard from a group of people, including me and everybody else who has a voice. What is so wrong and so difficult in that to do? If I try to do it, they will say I try to beg. So all you that have the power, all you that the most powerful people in Dominica, do it. And please invite me. I will come with you. I will sit in my little corner, and when I have a chance to speak, I will speak. And what I will say will support what you have been saying. What is so difficult in that? So there should be a respectful audience, a meeting with His Excellency, and another one with the Honorable Prime Minister. Ask for a meeting with the Cabinet of Ministers. The leader of the opposition should invite people who have been speaking out to speak, to come together. Why hasn't she called me as yet? And other people who I know she hasn't called. Bring people together. If you want people to work with you, you have the power. We don't want your power. Keep it. But get us involved so we as a people can help save our country. Men no, say Zopufei. And everybody else who do things differently from you, they are rejects and they should be left alone. And protest and boots on the ground and join the Wednesday walk. Without thinking 10 years, 5 years, 15 years down the line. Or 2 years back. The mistake of not participating in an election where the government that's in power now was at its weakest. Men, no. Emotion took over us, and we decide, no, we're not doing it because it's not fair, we're going to lose. And when I say that, some people always challenge me, why I always give him blows? I always give in the opposition blows. And you pack away, look at myself. They're not saying that, you know. I'm not giving them blows. I'm speaking about something I'm so passionate about. And it comes back and ties back to our passport. Because I'm seeing a recommendation from Sir Dennis asking for there to be national ID and suggesting electronic voting. And that is a problem. That national ID thing is a problem because every Dominican can have a national ID. You all not seen what coming? Reject. How can you reject Sir Dennis? You have to call him. Yes, CARICOM and the other institutions had suggested the way forward. But that is not what was embraced by the government. So we can say we should accept that instead. But how are we going to accept it when the government don't want to accept it? If the government wanted to accept it, they would have accepted it already. Yo parle. That's why they go for their man to do their work, and their man suggested things for them. Now, in parts, the report had some merit, in parts. But there are some parts that are shouting, malfeasance. Because a number of things that I know my brothers in the UWP recommended in terms of reform did not make its way in the report. The only recommendations that made its way to the report or made their way to the report were those of one party, the so-called Labour Party, which is not the Labour Party, as Matthew Walter told us, and I've been saying so for the longest while. So the views expressed by other parties that I was part of too did not make their way to the report. How about national ID? Who talk about national ID? No, only one party that went that way. And the reporter, the examiner, whatever his name is, Dr. Dennis, is coming in that. One party in the world that asking for that. You recommending that when no other party wants that? And those people refuse to talk to all of us who can talk with one voice, to go and have a meeting with Sir Dennis, to request a meeting with people in the regional agencies, CARICOM, Commonwealth. That's what we need to do. We have to break away from this mold of our parties and get people who have been talking. And I know I've been talking. I have been quiet. I'm not saying that I'm the best, I'm the only person. But what I'm saying is, if there is to be a conversation, I should be part of it. I try to advance it. For some of you, I shouldn't. So go ahead, advance it and get me involved. Let's do it. And Carlos, all the other meeting in Dominica, they're talking about the report, the response to the report. And you're not inviting Carlos? And Carlos is right there sitting with you, the leader of TUD. So today we have a problem with passports. We have a visa problem. It seems like our leadership is inept because they really cannot deal with the issues the way they should. I understand the response was CARICOM. Let's travel in CARICOM. Really? Tone deaf and blinded as well. He should know that the CARICOM travel is more expensive than traveling to North America. And, well, Europe is a little more. But anyway, let me not put myself in the story. So we have a lot of work to do, guys. And the people must demand that we work together to find the answer. Now we can protest if you want, organize it, get the money for the placard, get the money for the transportation to mobilize people, bring 10,000 people in Roseau, fine if you can do that. But don't just sit down there and say, come Roseau. You have to bring people to Roseau. I think you might need at least $1 million, $1.5, $2 million to have a successful mobilization program over maybe a couple of months. But you're sitting on there and say boots on the ground. How? Talk to His Excellency. He was one of the major players during the 1970s. He can tell you how many years that went into putting a resistance in place. And the resistance was effective. But the resistance did not cause the change of government. The change of government was well, yes, in a way it did, but the government was not changed legally. The Patrick John government was not replaced by the legal means because Mr. John, may he rest well, did not convene parliament. The opposition that did convene parliament on a motion. How can you? You have to negotiate with the man. Yes, he's in trouble. Speak to him, get him involved in the picture. You just sidestep the man and take him out of office. And the same thing shouldn't happen today. Those who are in office already are in office. They are legitimate. We have to get them out. We have to talk to them. If the leader of the opposition, the other member who's elected, who's going to become leader next year, and the other politicians who serve the other teams and everybody else decide to go to see the prime minister and say, we want to talk to you. How can he say no? It's okay, we go, he don't talk to us. We come back and tell people he don't talk to us. We go again. We'll go until he talk to us. That's what we have to do. I want to stand up next to Lennox Linton, next to Thompson Fontaine, Joshua and these people, next to my partner Buju, Carlos, and I want to make a statement. But I didn't mention my partner, Bernardito. Oh, and my dear friend Johnson, Bosso, Boston, the man who cannot hurt a fly. We have to get this right. When is the major symposium? When is the major conference to look at the issues? The focus groups looking at certain areas with a big paper, a white paper, signed by all. What is so difficult for us to do that to save our country? So parties or foolishness about a party. So, guys, I think that's where I want to pause. There may be a question or two from me, and I will want to deal with it. I also wanted to visit my dear friend Asa boy, I haven't been having the time to really feature him. Let me see if we can get something in today. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. But I want to take a pause because I have a program at 3 o'clock. I'm joining Carlos on the TUD program, and we're going to have a grand old time. We're going to, I think he is making an address on behalf of the team, and I'm going to host because he produces me and I produce him too. And I'll be on camera too, and I might have a conversation or two with Carlos. That's coming up in 9 minutes time, guys. It's going to be interesting. Stick around for TUD statement, responsible response and statement on that, and which is divorced from my comments. I'm a lone ranger when I'm on my platform, and the team has its platform. I support the team's platform and position, but I don't message for TUD. I message for Alex, Bruno, a national, a citizen, someone who has a voice in a democratic country. And if anybody tells me Dominica is no longer a democratic country, I will not have a voice anymore because I know in a democracy and in a non-democracy, it is very difficult to raise your voice. All right. I'm actually trying to look for questions. Only if my producer can present them for me, I will respond. But let me first of all see whether I can actually see questions. Oh yeah, here we go. Petra Carbon. I recommended in the last election that all oppositions soon come together to fight for a common outcome, but we are becoming a selfish people. Well, Petra, not we are becoming, they have been very selfish about trying to save Dominica. But Dominica, the double six will die in their hand. You, Petra, have a role to play, play the role. And wherever you see progress, move with that progress because I think you are a very genuine and progressive person. You don't have to wait for them to come together because if they had to come together, they would have done it already. They have been told on many occasions, let us bring a coalition together. That's why I say I have a program on Friday and I might say a lot of things, because that lady invited me to come and tell my story. I will tell my story. It's not like they do not know. They know. We know what we have to do for Dominica, but we don't want to work for Dominica. We want to work for our parties. And that is the problem, Petra. So don't worry about them. They are history. I think the future is the future, the young people, and any other Dominican who is progressive enough to understand that the best way is to build strength by coming together. That's the way to go. And I think you, Petra, have a future. I'm keeping my eyes on you, my dear sister, my family, my blood. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. All right. Is there anything else I can deal with before I take a break? The opposition party should come together for a needed outcome to save our country. Yeah, you said that. I wouldn't hold my breath too much based on my understanding in terms of my working knowledge of some. I wouldn't hold my breath on that. I don't see. I think we have to have a different idea, and I think the different idea has already been presented, and it's the only way is the united way. Dominica economic growth depends on the demands of agriculture, both internally and externally. I would, Petra, good vibes, but save those things for internal discussions for people who really want to be part of those discussions. I think that is wasted on some. I'm telling you, Petra, trust me, my sister, you're going to get frustrated if you worry too much about the status quo people, those who have been there for so long and probably, So I think it's a new dispensation, it's a new idea, it's a new time. And I think that's what's going to be able to save family. All right. Again, anything else, Mr. Producer, before I wind up here? And again, I really am sorry that I could not get my partner Issa on today. But we'll try. One day we'll have him on, One day we'll have him on. I know he's continuing making his wrongs. But we'll see what happens. I see another one from Petra. She says, Hucksters struggling to get agricultural products for export. But we're not producing food. We're not even producing food for us. Our food come from Miami. If that Miami boat don't come, we're not eating, in Dominica. The agricultural epicenter of the world. So we have problems, guys. And Sister Petra has identified those problems. And I think she is in a very key position to help us solve the issues that we are encountering. So we thank you to all of those of you who tuned in live and for the many of you who are here incognito. and to the many, many of you who will view the repeat of this program. Let's be frank and fair with the views and the issues, and let us stand up for Dominica as much as we can, especially now. Dominica needs us now more than ever before. So let's make a pledge to serve our country with the best of our abilities. Thank you so much. This is my program. I'm going to pause. I will join Carlos on the Team Unity Dominica's platform. I invite all of you here to join the Team Unity Dominica platform for 1 hour. Carlos presents a statement to the nation in reaction to the visa imposition on Dominicans by England. Take care, guys, and I'll see you in a few minutes, and certainly next week on this program.